Request Councilor Jose Maria B. Dela Llana be recognized.
Councilor Dela Llana, you are recognized.
Dela Llana.
But before ikaw na lang. Sige, si Nene na.
Siya na.
Go ahead. Sige, go ahead.
Good morning, Madam Chair, ladies and gentlemen, honorable colleagues. Allow me first to allow my counterpart to talk about a little bit about FOI. Thank you. Yes.
Transparency built on accountability. The first step toward real transparency is knowing what we have. You cannot disclose what you have never taken the time to understand. That's why data management is not just paperwork, but the backbone of any policy aimed at transparency. Because transparency without structure is chaos, and the public doesn't need chaos. It needs truthful information, shared responsibility with due regard for privacy, security, and integrity.
Madam Chair, this is just for first reading a proposed ordinance operationalizing the freedom of information in the city government of Iloilo, creating the Central Appeals and Review Committee, and providing guidelines thereto. This measure recognizes the constitutional right of every citizen to access information on matters of public concern as guaranteed by Article 3, Section 7 and Article 2, Section 28 of the 1987 Philippine Constitution. The proposed ordinance seeks to institutionalize transparency, accountability at the local level by providing a structured mechanism for accessing government information while still upholding the right to privacy under the Data Privacy Act or RA 10173. One of its silent features, Madam Chair, ladies and gentlemen, is the creation of a Central Appeals and Review Committee, or CARC, a body tasked to handle appeals and review denied requests for information, ensuring fairness and due process in FOI-related concern. It also mandates the establishment of Freedom of Information Desk, which will also serve as the central point of receiving, processing, and releasing public information requests. All city offices and departments will be covered under this ordinance, each designating their own FOI decision maker to evaluate, to act upon requests within specific timeframes, making the process efficient and accessible to the public. Furthermore, Madam Chair, ladies and gentlemen, this ordinance adopts automatic disclosure requirement in line with DILG Memorandum Circular Number 2024-021, ensuring that the budget documents, procurement plans, audit reports, and other key transparency documents are regularly posted for public view. In view of this, Madam Chair, I would like to...
Before you move, Councilor Dela Llana, I would just like to make a few comments. Actually, I already raised this to the floor leader when it has been included in the agenda. And I would just like to express a gentle reminder to this august body. While we are appreciative of the enthusiasm of everyone nga mag-promote kita sa transparency, dapat guro ma-practice man kita sang common courtesy. Last week, this same ordinance was already passed for first reading ni Councilor Shin Marie Mabilog. So that is why I would like to ask the good councilor, gaano man ko sang factors to consider before I make the ruling. Kay based on ang aton nga provisions ang aton IRP, when we have a pending motion or it's already in the committee level, hindi na pwede ka reintroduce ang same nga title, and at the same time, kung maski man hindi same title, kung differently worded, but the same intent and the same purpose, hindi na ni ma-reintroduce sa same nga session or sa same council. So that is why I would like to ask the good councilor kung ano ang difference ang imo nga gina-introduce or anong intent niya. Well, it's a totally different ordinance from that was
Madam Chair.
passed on first reading.
Madam Chair,
Well-
before we proceed, is that a point of order, Madam Chair?
Because if
Ako na.
Yeah.
Is that a point of order, Madam Chair?
It is just a concern that I want to raise to the body.
Basically, that is an attack on the validity on the proposal, Madam Chair. So I think that's a point of order.
So if it's a point of order, then what is now the pleasure of the majority?
I would like to
floor leader?
request that the presiding officer yield her presiding officer position and that she would come down to the podium and that the majority would elect a presiding officer so that we could rule on the point of order.
So, Councilor Dela Llana, I would like to yield the floor so that I can raise my point of order.
of course,
Any nominee?
I would like to nominate Councilor Shil Mabilog to be the presiding officer.
I have a note. The ordinance is concerning, the ordinance like structures.
Nag-decline sa ma-decline sa pagka-presiding officer. Okay. Instead, I would like to nominate Councilor Miguel Trias.
Councilor Trias.
Thank you.
Motion has been seconded.
Now, Mr. Presiding Officer, may I request to interpolate the point of order of the Vice Mayor, Mr. Presiding Officer.
Majority floor.
Yes, can the Vice Mayor point to the specific provision of the internal rules that allegedly violates, which the proposal allegedly violates, Madam Vice Mayor?
Mr. Chair, am I recognized?
Vice Mayor Baranda, you're recognized.
We are guided by Rule Number 7, Section 1 of our Internal Rules of Procedure, which states that any measure or proposal already referred to a corresponding committee shall not be subject to debate or amendment prior to final action. We want to avoid duplication in legislation.
I'm sorry, can the SP Secretariat flash in the screen the specific provision? Wala?
Can we flash it? 7.
708.
Mr. Chair,
Yes, can you flash in the screen?
Mr. Majority Floor Leader.
Kindly please flash on the screen. The specific provision of the
Section.
Rule 7,
Rule 7.
Section 1.
Rule 7, Section 1.
So it states, any motion, measure, or proposal appearing in the agenda already referred to the corresponding committee shall not be subject to debate prior to final action. Explanatory speeches by the proponent not exceeding 5 minutes may be allowed. Mr. Presiding Officer, there's no debate being held here in this August body. I would like to clarify, Mr. Chair, Mr. Presiding Officer. I am fully aware as the floor leader that Councilor Mabilog was able to propose last week a measure granting the citizens of Iloilo the process to avail of public documents. I have read the provisions of the said proposal, and they appear not to be the same with the proposal of Councilor Dela Llana. I have read the title of the proposal of Councilor Dela Llana. It's not the same title.
Yeah.
I have read the provisions. It's not the same provisions. They contemplate different measures to attaining a different set of goals. Now, I would like to also manifest, Mr. Chair, that the point of order of the Vice Mayor is misplaced because as you read in the rules, in the internal rules, there is no prohibition as to the introduction of a particular measure, although it has a different title or with a different purpose. So I would like to put it on the record, Mr. Chair, that the Vice Mayor does not even understand the internal rules. Mr.
Yes,
Chair.
Vice Mayor Barata.
If in case nga hambal sang atong majority floor leader, when I raised that concern, he made a footnote do sa proposal ni Councilor Nene nga it should be integrated sa proposal ni Councilor Shin ara dito sa footnote. And then he also introduction. However, based on the parliamentary rules of procedure, kung silent ang aton nga IRP, if that is the contention of the majority floor leader, dapat supplementary ang aton nga Robert Rules. Ano nga ba sa aton nga Robert Rules? Kung silent ang IRP, under the section 38 on the renewal of motions sa Rules of Order sa 12th edition, a motion substantially the same as one pending is out of order, which means ang reintroduction is barred while pending. Paano ta mahambal? No, totally different ini. Because sa title pa lang in itself,
Just deliberate.
operationalizing ang FOI.
Thank Mr. Chair, can I respond?
Yes, Councilor Dela.
Well, you know, first of all, ang ginambal ni Honorable Vice Mayor nga rule, tamang kalayo, ari ding karne, ari tong tapalan. You know, allow me to read. Item in the agenda, general rule, any motion, measure, or proposal appearing in the agenda already referred to corresponding committee shall not be subject to debate prior to the final action. Explanatory speeches by the proponent not exceeding 5 minutes may not be allowed. You know, Mr. Chair, ang akong nga propose na FOI, it is not for the wisdom of the Honorable Vice Mayor to deal with whether this is a duplication of the proposed ordinance of the Councilor Shin Mabilog. It is within the wisdom of the committee chair.
Yes.
So whatever you feel, you think that this ordinance, this proposed ordinance is duplication, it is not for you to decide. It is for the committee chair. So, you know, Madam Chair, why are we splitting hairs here?
To everyone, maybe Councilor Mabilog and Councilor Dela Llana, you can work on this ordinance together. No? If it's a pleasure of the body. Okay. Councilor Mabilog, you're recognized.
Mr. Chair, Mayong Aga, this representation is in support of any movement for transparency, but I think na dapat para sa akon,